base jumping's case, because that's really what I have, my forte and what I do, is the base jumping kills people. And you have to understand that. And you have to accept that that is the ultimate risk of what this particular activity is. So in order to do the activity, you have to accept the worst case scenario of what could happen, which is dying, right? And then there's a lot of gray all the way up to being successful, which is you can get hurt, you can get arrested, it can destroy you financially, it can destroy you psychologically. It's a very it's a difficult thing to explain to people. Like, okay, well, why are you willing to take on a risk that's that serious, that's that severe, that can end your life? Like, it's pretty much an unjustifiable thing to do something that can kill you, and it's hard to say, okay, well, that's worth the risk. It's worth dying for, you know. So for me, you know, I started base jumping when I was 21. I saw it when I was 16, and for me, the only way I could like work through the risk that was involved was to, I mean, the reality is I'd suffered from a serious psychological disorder. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So I, at 16 years old, suffered from depression, suffered from a deep sadness, a deep darkness that was consuming and crushing me. So I was going to die. And that's what was coming. I could not survive in this world. I wasn't built for this world. I wasn't meant to survive. I was one of these people who just, I wasn't going to make it. I was a 16-year-old who was not going to make it. So the only way you can really justify taking a risk that can kill you is if that risk could potentially save you. And I think that that's really kind of how it worked for me. Is I was suffering from a condition that was going to kill me, which was basically my own mind. My own mind didn't want to be here. I didn't want to exist. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to exist. I suffered from I felt like I was living in a very dark place, and I had no light. I had no vision. I had no future. I had no hope. I had no desires. I had nothing. I wanted nothing. And it's really difficult to describe that place and that thought and that being to people who've never experienced it, because it doesn't make sense. And me now as a 48-year-old looking back at that 16-year-old depressed teenager, it's hard for even me now to like connect to him. I don't understand him so much. But what I do know is that when I saw base jumping, the very fact that it could kill me was not a negative. That wasn't something I saw as, oh, that's bad. I saw that as, oh, well, you know, I watched a person base jump and it struck me and I decided I want to do that. And it's perfect for me because if I succeed, then I will have done something that very few human beings in this world would be willing to do because they care about their lives and they want to live. If I die while doing it, then I get released from my suffering on the planet. So for me, either way, I win. So the calculus of risk for me was, the risk was to not do it.